Yeah, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Zah back at you. Yes, anyways, man, I wanted to respond to a few comments, and usually I try to avoid the comments. Not even avoid them, I just don't respond to them because most of them are childish and the energy ain't the same in person. It's been proven. And then plus you don't really know who you're talking to. You got all these faceless, nameless, claiming hoods that they ain't even from. So, you know, you gotta kind of just take it with a grain of salt. And then plus I'm at that age to where it's like, what, I'm gonna fight everybody in the comments. It's just it would make absolutely no sense. And the fact that they continue to hate and my channel continues to grow, no matter how slow it trickles in, it continued to grow. But anyway, man, shout out to the homies from Verdugo, from the east side. Shout out to all Verdugo, you know what I'm saying? That shit is grimy out there, you know what I mean? Shout out to them, you know what I mean? But yeah, what I really want to talk about is the fact that when I did my last video on Monster Cody, I was simply showing respect to an OG that at one time thought along a gangbanger's line of thinking as far when he disrespected the homies. But see, when he got older and he, you know, did a lot more and been a lot more places, he got a different level of respect for the homies and basically apologized for what he said. And it didn't mean that he was less of a man for doing it. He just felt like, you know what I mean, I'm at that age to where I can let certain shit go. You seen the same shit between Florence and East Coast. That shit, for a lot of people, thought would never end, but it's a level of respect on both sides, and no need to continue with the bloodshed. So as men, they're able to let shit go and be like, you know what, man, we're past that. You know, life lost on both sides, but we're grown men and let's try to push towards a better future. See, that's the type of shit that I respect, not the accolades of a man that has killed anybody. Because I mean, yeah, I mean, I have a record as long as it's extensive, you know what I mean, and it's a lot of violence. So as far as worrying about who killed who, that really meant nothing to me. And then the difference between us and a lot of other cats is we can't write books on our alkalites. So we can't write books, and even though there would be negative, we still can't write books on exactly everything we did, because if we did, then there'd be a lot of other hardcore killers out there. But that's besides the point. So I just wanted to respond to a couple of cats in the comments because they felt somehow really disrespected. Some of them were more along the line of like a child throwing a temper tantrum. But there was fools that really on there felt some type of way about it. Like they felt as if me being a black southerner, I shouldn't be able to speak on it. But understand this, man. I don't speak on Crip business. It's none of my business on what a Crip does. It just like it's none of my business on what a Blood does. A Blood will do what he do. And his politics don't pertain to me, and neither does a Crip. I was showing respect for a man that thought along the line as a child when he disrespected the homies, and just to give him his respect on how he's grown. Will I ever meet the man or that? Probably not, because we revolve and move in two different circles. Like I said, for the people that know about me, it's double S on mine, and that's the circle you're gonna find me in 24/7. I mean, don't get me wrong, you'll find me with some Damus too, because I fuck with a lot of them. I got family from there, and there's some Crips I know too, but there's a lot of Damus I fuck with. But for the most part, you can always catch me with that S, and it's just the way it is. It has nothing to do with gangs anymore. It's just I'm an older dude that have been through what I've been through. And that's the side that I'm most comfortable with. So yeah, so respect to Monster Cody. For the people that don't like it, that's just your problem. The man didn't come on here and say he didn't like it, which I doubt he would, because it wouldn't make no sense. Somebody's giving you respect and you get upset about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah. But that's besides the point. What I really want to get into is the shit about these dudes. They say confusion, like this fool is confused. And like I said, I don't like to respond to comments, but I just want to break down a few things for people. See, in the United States, there's and probably farther than that, but there's a such rule as the 1% and 1% law. So that means, what I mean is, if you have one drop of black blood and you're considered black. And I don't give a fuck if you're in other cases, if your dad's this, you are what your dad. But your dad could be Mexicano, but if your mom's black and you got black blood in you, then you're considered black. It's just the way it is. They got all this other stuff now to make you feel more comfortable and to identify with different areas. But for the most part in the United States, when you're this complexion, you're considered black. I don't give a fuck if you're Puerto Rican, whatever. You're gonna be considered black if you got one drop of black blood in you. So understand, with that being said, there's no confusion on what I am. It really didn't matter what I was in prison, because I mean, at the end of the day, I was still going to handle my business according to the way I needed to handle my business. I could have been fucking from Ethiopia. If I'm from the double S, I'm going to ride with my homeboys until my win is either gone or I get out. And as you can see, I'm out on the streets. And like I said, the whole thing with glorifying another man, there was no glorification in it. It was just paying respect. Now, as far as like the confusion, there's no confusion. I know what I am, but I don't care. It's double S, and that's just the way it is, and I will never change that ever. Now, don't get me wrong, there's no gangbang in the street. I'm not on the street trying to knock fools' heads off. I mean, what type of individual would I be, almost 42, still trying to be out on the street shooting at motherfuckers? That would, you know, for each is their own, but to me that would make me a lowlife. That means I'm not contributing nothing to the society. I would be you know, whatever. I didn't get out institutionalized. I got out on the path, you know what I mean? And my path at first was a little, you know what I mean? But eventually I got it under control. But that's besides the point, man. I don't want to talk you guys to death. I just wanted to clarify that for the individuals. Now, with that being said, for the people that felt some type of way about it, see, that's the problem with our race. And I'll say our race as far as black, because like I said, I mean, there's no getting around that. A lot of us like to watch the next individual. It don't matter what they do. You just need to watch. You need to point out every fault, and you need to hate in some way. And that's not everybody. Some people are conscious enough to know that they stay in their own lane, and they're not pocket watching the next. But there's a lot of individuals in this generation, and some in the old generation, that they're stuck in that way of doing things. It's like, if I would have been a Crip or a Blood, I'd have been on here, there probably wouldn't have been so much hate. But if 9 out of 10, it still would have been hate, because it needs something to hate. It's always an excuse for this, an excuse for that. Either it's racism, the white man. Like, motherfuckers don't know how to take responsibility for themselves. Ain't no white dude in the neighborhood killing the next motherfucker. It's dudes that gangbang that look the same complexion as you, taking the next man out. And prime example, this comes from individuals that don't rock with the S. They rock their Bloods and their Crips, and they see it all the time. You can't go nowhere without a motherfucker feeling like they need to press a line. I just ran into a dude not that long ago that was saying the same things. Like, man, I can't even go here, or I can't even go here. It ain't even in a neighborhood where it's gangs, but I can't go here because these motherfuckers are on me 24/7. It's like, man, I feel like a motherfucker just got a chip on his shoulder for no reason. And in most cases it is. You instead of just taking responsibility for your own faults and the shit that you do in life, you would rather blame it on the next person. Nobody forces you to be aggressive 24/7. That's why it's funny. Cats will break it down, and you notice you'll have them cats that want you around just for the simple fact that you're just really fucking aggressive. You intimidate motherfuckers. Or you're good at something, you know what I mean? But you got to ask yourself, in the last 100 years, what have we really contributed to anything? If you really want to break it down and get into the nitty gritty, what have we really contributed to anything? You know what I mean? You'll idolize a gangster, but you won't idolize the doctors. And don't get me wrong, because when a lot of them get into position where they got some type of power, they're trickling nothing down. But see, you could easily get yourself on track and get to their level if you chose to put forth a little effort. But no, you would rather be on Zod's channel talking shit and trying to point out faults. But you can't point out no fault with me. I did what I said, and I represented what I represented. At the end of the day, I went through prison being who I was and rocking for who I rock with. Nothing you say as an individual or a group will ever change anything, because I've actually ran into motherfuckers that really went to function and they couldn't even change it themselves. No threat of violence, no threat of anything has ever changed anything. I will always be me. The only difference now is I'm at that age to where I don't feel like I need to be on the street trying to shoot and box everybody that got like even the slightest issue with me. I'm not blaming the next man for my faults in life and what I lack as an individual. I'm not pocket watching another motherfucker so envious to where the envy turns to jealousy. And a lot of you do that. And that's and that's the reason. And look at this, is like I said, this is coming from other black dudes that have nothing to do with no Mexican gangs or nothing, and they all say the same fucking thing. Like when it comes down to like hate, we the biggest ones right now, hating on all individuals. You see a motherfucker on TV that a rapper, he ain't got a chain, motherfucker got something to say about him. Look on the comments, it's our people. The only ones that want to hate on absolutely everything. You'll ostracize your leaders. Every time you see a black leader come up, who's the one that kill him? You see what I'm saying? It's like, it's a real pattern because it's so feeble-minded and easy manipulated. You don't want to represent the motherfuckers that actually have real power and that's looking out for you. Nah. You rather look out for this motherfucker over here that's going to eventually turn around and blow your brains out because he's jealous of you. Just as jealous are you as you are of him. And don't get me wrong, there's real atrocities in this world taking place every day. But I don't see people speaking on it. They'd rather talk about the game and this fool, but they won't talk about the women being snatched 24/7 or how many black women have came up missing in DC. You'll never talk about that. Why? Because it doesn't really pertain to you. You would rather talk about a motherfucker's chain and his shoes and what type of car he drive, or be envious and sit at home and talk about how many blunts you didn't smoke. See, that's the shit, like, that's the shit that doesn't really, it makes me laugh sometimes when cats be mad why I didn't join certain situations and, you know, and be involved in other situations, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like this, I know I'm black, but that does not stop me from doing what I need to do. I'm always gonna represent for my homies, and nobody will ever change that. It's like a few Mexican bloods I know. Them dudes are doing what they do, and they will go and they have their own lane, their own line of and chain of thinking, and they gonna do what they want. And no matter who tells them what to do, they still gonna do. And the only thing that's gonna take that is their life. You know, it's the same with Mexicans and whites and all this that run in different ethnic groups. They ain't trying to be that. Some. You know what I mean? But this a lot of them are just who they are. It's like, hey, this is how I grew up and this is what I choose to represent. But they don't make no excuses. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Dada.
Yeah.
Can I use the bathroom?
Go ahead.
Yes.
You see that? That's me taking care of my son. You know what I mean? I have responsibilities. And anything outside of that really doesn't make no difference. It's like my kids, they choose their own routes. One is more pro-black. The other one is, you know, she Mexican, black, whatever. You know, she doesn't really make no choice. My younger son will have a choice to choose what he wants to choose. But at the end of the day, they will all know 1%, one drop of black blood in your blood makes you black. I don't give a fuck what you say. It's just the way the United States sees things. And it doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just the dominant gene. It's just what it is. And a lot of people are going to come on here and be like, look at this fool talking shit about blacks. He talking. But at the end of I'm just pointing out the obvious. It's just the way it is. You got a lot of cats that's in they hoods that's just straight riders and see it the same way. They can't move around without their own trying to take them out. Like I said, you'll idolize the next man as far as a gangbanger for his criminal alcoholic, like, you know, I'm alcoholist, whatever. Sorry, I can't even get the word out. But yet the doctor or the lawyer or this fool trying to, nah. It's always looked at bad. Even criticizing motherfuckers that have a different way of talking. Maybe they got a higher education. They're trying to go a certain path. You always got the ones that, like little demons, they want to detour. So they do whatever they do. Why you think you always see these movies where the fool that's going to be a football star, he end up getting killed by the same individuals that he grew up with? Because it's bred. That jealousy is bred throughout the neighborhood. Throughout the black community, it's been bred that way. Hate on the next man. Crabs in the barrel. Constantly snatching motherfuckers down. Why you think motherfuckers get money and leave? Because if you don't, eventually that same individual you used to kick it with is going to end up taking you out the game. And that's what it is right now. I said it in another video, a lot of jealousy, a lot of blame going around everywhere, but in the community. Like I said, you have black leaders, ostracize them or take them out, or you don't want to hear nothing. You rather hear your big homie talk than to listen to this motherfucker tell you how to get an education and how to function and how to lead you in the right direction. You got dudes right now arguing against stuff. I'm not African, I'm not this, I'm not that, and that's cool. We're black Americans, you know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of you that really be in a comment, and there was a lot of you, I think you just need to get your priorities straight and understand that you will never progress as a people if you constantly tear down the next man in order to make yourself feel better. Or somehow you make yourself feel better. You need to get out and get what you need to get and stop blaming on everybody else. You can't blame Zod for what happens to you. And let me say, just to you know, end it real quick. Me not being from a black gang should excite you. It should make you feel good inside. Like, not another statistic. But nah, you're frustrated because I'm not, and which makes absolutely no sense. See, that's the signs of a weak individual. Any individual that's worried about the next man and why he does certain things and mad at the fact that he don't do certain things. Like, it'd be different if I was in your house and I had to pay bills and I wasn't giving you money. Then there would be a real need to be upset about it. But the fact that I'm not from a black gang and I choose not to fall up under that same stereotype frustrates you, which it shouldn't. Because if you're a real man and stand on your own 2 feet, then another man's get down, as long as it didn't affect yours, wouldn't bother you. That says a lot about your character, and a lot of you cats need to get character. It's just the way it is. Like I said, man, it's no put down towards blacks, because I am black. But you need to stop blaming motherfuckers for your downfalls. And if you really want to contribute to anything, and I'm not talking about society like that, I'm talking about be known for something different than just tearing shit up or being uber aggressive. That's all they know us for. Nothing else. Or basketball or football. What happens to the doctors? Nobody glorifies that. Why? Because in the ghetto, that shit means absolutely nothing. Oh, no, it means money that I can take from you. That's it. And a lot of motherfuckers think like that. They want it. Don't want to get it themselves, but they'll take it from you. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Shout out to the real motherfuckers that are conscious and really out there paying attention. You know what I mean? And really trying to better themselves. Really trying to learn their history. Really embracing what it means to be black, not hood. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. For the people that you know, that are Muslim, and you know what I mean? Sorry, this war is about to be treacherous, and to the people that have to go fight them, this war's about to be treacherous. You know what I mean? So them the motherfuckers that you should really look up to, the ones that's really putting it on the line in order to make sure we stay with some sort of liberty and not have to go fight the war ourselves. And on that note, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, shout out to everybody that's really about it. There's no shot at anybody. It's just certain individuals really need to wake up. Oh, and here's a funny thing. You always hear the cats that are just super pro-black, and then their baby's mom's is white. Or they're always talking about they want a light-skinned pretty baby with green eyes. And never... always putting down they blacks, like, you know, not even putting down blacks, but they always talking shit about the black woman while putting another bitch on the pedestal. Understand me, don't get me wrong. I'm equal opportunity. It don't matter what race you are, you know what I'm saying? Well, I can't be out there now, but it was equal opportunity. But I'm not gonna put down a black woman in order to appease another one, and a lot of you do that, but still say that you're pro-black. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? It makes absolutely no sense. That's the same way as a Mexicana saying this and that, but all they fuck with is black dudes, or all they fuck with is white dudes. It's confusion there. You know what I'm saying? Pretty baby, black babies are pretty babies. There's all types of pretty babies. You know what I'm saying? So if you pro-black, or you black power, and your baby's mom is white, then there's something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is your boy Zod talking this shit. You know what I mean? I know cats ain't gonna like it, but I'm just giving you the real. When you say something, understand that what you say will get certain responses, and be about what you say. You know what I'm saying? And I'm about what I say. I rep that double S. I got love for my homeboys no matter what fucking race I am. And that's just the way it is. And that's something that you either get over with or get past. You know what I mean? Because anything else is just stupidity. I mean, you could fight me over it, but that's just stupid. That just means you're a weak individual and you're worried about another man and what he does with his life. You know what I mean? It's like being anti-gay, you know what I mean? Or being against gay people. I'm not worried about what they do. They do what they do. So you should do what you do. I'm not worried about you. I don't care about your life because I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? This is a long-ass video, but I just thought I needed to clarify that for the people that do something. If you really want to be about your people and you want me to be about whatever, do something. Show me. Lead by example. Do something in the last 100 years that's really something great. You know what I mean? You ain't Farrakhan and you ain't... So then you're just a regular individual. You know what I mean? That's not conscious, just looking to blame somebody else for their misgivings or whatever. But anyways, man, I'm your boy Zod. Shout out to the homies. I'm out.